So you're right. Your mom did disappear and this other woman
Right,
came into her space.
right.
Yeah. And
And I
yet,
was at the funeral, but
yeah,
then, and
yeah.
actually, to go back, it's so funny. You can't remember things, and then suddenly you start remembering them
Oh.
again. But she came out to Los Angeles to visit me about
Mhm.
6 months after my dad's death. And that's when, like, she was saying strange things and it just,
Yep.
and
Wow.
then when she called to tell my husband and me she had good news. And I thought the good news was that my dad's African art collection had found a museum,
Yeah.
and instead the good news was I'm in love with a man named whatever,
Yeah.
and we're getting married. And
You could have heard a
between
pin
losing,
drop. You
right,
could have
and
heard
my
a pin
husband
drop.
Tom, I just started crying, silent tears, and my husband Tom jumped in and said, Candy, we are so happy for you. Rebecca's going to need time to process this, but we definitely want you to be happy. And then that's what led to the yelling and screaming on the phone for several months, me calling her best friends and saying, can you stop this? And them saying, you know, your mom, she can't be stopped. We think this is weird too, but there's nothing anybody can
Yeah.
do.
No, you
So,
couldn't have stopped it. I mean, short of trying to take her to court, you'd have lost. I mean, this is the challenge when we see FTD play itself out, because so many of the cognitive abilities that the world recognizes as dementia are okay. They're okay, but the person still has brain failure, but nobody recognizes it because it's not the classic Alzheimer's. And so
right,
therefore, you're left, there's nothing you can do because the system is set up only to recognize memory impairment. It's like, that's not what,
right,
and it's like, you can't win. You cannot win in
right,
that one. So time went by, 8 years later, boom, divorce, done. I can't do this anymore, which, somebody came late into the relationship. It was already a little odd. And then it just got impossible. So,
right.
but then you got her, she went down to Florida. There was support in place. They'd done a good job. Your mom and dad,
Yes,
actually, great job.
wonderful.
But then she's down in Florida, Juno Beach. Not a lot of friends though anymore. Not part of the church community anymore. What else? What else did you pick up from LA that was like yikes? Eventually you came back with his mom and your mom, your husband's mom and your mom,
Right.
to deal with all this. But what else were you picking up on with her? Any weight loss, weight gain, um,
No,
any?
just very odd behavior, upwards of 75 to 100 texts per day. And when I reached out to Jeremy, the power of attorney, the family friend, and said, what's going on? He said, I'm getting them too. And this has been an ongoing pattern because my mom's used to being charismatic and people coming to her. That's been one of the hardest things, is watching everyone flee from her. And again, that's the extrovert behavior. My mom likes the TV to be on, music to be playing, and talking. So so the 75 texts per day and the voicemails of why won't you pick up your phone were very strange. But the final straw was 2020, or, we're all working from home at this point. I get a call from one of her best friends that's known her for 20, 30 years. And I get a call from a stranger in Vero Beach, both telling me I have to do something.
Oh boy.
I'm like, well, Jeremy's down there. I mean, they have the same political and religious
Yep.
beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
He welcomed her with open arms. His congregation took her to lunch. I mean, what am I gonna do if I move further
If
away? I'd
they
be in the
can't meet her
ocean.
needs, I mean, if they can't meet her needs,
Right.
what am I going to do? I'm one human being, and she and I have, like issues with so many things.
But
Yikes.
still, with it being 2020 and
Yep.
we didn't know, is this going to be a 1 year thing?
Yeah.
Is this going to be a 10-year thing? Are we ever going to be able to get back on a
Yep.
plane? We're like, we've been wanting to step away from the city and live in a more rural community. Let's choose North Carolina because my husband has music connections here. He's an instrumental guitar player. And so he can immediately start making money. He can mow his mom's lawn, help
Yep.
his sister, and I can be within a day's drive of my mom. So I'm not all over her business because she and
She's,
Jeremy are the ones who she
yeah.
will listen to him
Hmm.
mostly.
Hmm. Most of
Mostly.
the time. Most of the
Yeah,
time. So you can't be an immediate family member. That's not going to work. You
right,
can be a distant and support, and
right.
you could possibly episodically visit, but you're not going to be
Yes,
able to be in her immediate vicinity. It won't work. And this
right.
is so, I mean, I'm going to say this is really hard because historically, that's not at all how it was. So
No.
you literally had to let go of your mom as your mom right after you lost two people on the same day.
Yes.
And now you have to figure out how to support this woman that looks like your mom is not your mom. It's
It's
living in
not
your
my
mom's
mom.
body. Now, the one thing that's consistent is your mom was sort of an extroverty type person before. She likes
Right.
people. She loves people. And she likes being around people. Being around people was her jam. She'd go find people to be around. She was a nurse because she loved being with people and she loved that kind of relationship. And
Yes.
she liked to be helpful. I mean, she
Yes.
really loved being
Yes.
helpful and taking
Yes.
care of people.
Yes.
Does she retain any of that taking care of people part at all?
She wants to, but because the behavior is so strange,
Nobody
people
wants it.
flee.
Nobody
And
wants
that
it.
is what hurts her so much. I heard an episode that you did where you were talking about a man who had moved into an amber state but had fallen so
Yep.
many times that they had missed the opportunity to realize he had worked outside a lot.
Yep.
So when he was in Emerald, if they could have let him drug big bricks around or something, he might not be cussing and
Mhm.
doing all of these things.
Yep.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out with my mom, who I think is in an emerald
Uh-huh.
state, but
Yep.
close to amber. It goes back and forth. Is
Yeah.
I got the animal part figured out. So she's grew up on a farm. So I found a therapy horse named Skippy. And
Oh,
Skippy's mom often works with children with autism, but was open to working with
wow.
my mom. So now this is like this fantastic thing. And there's another place called LaPorte Farm down there that's like a petting zoo.
Yep.
But when she touches the horse's muzzle, you just see her whole body. It's like, there's the
Yeah,
person,
there she is. There she is.
Yeah,
So the unconditional acceptance of an animal
right.
gives your mom, some of what she's missing, which is a sense that I matter, that I have value, that I'm fun to be with, that you like me. And the animals are able to do that. And she figures that out. I mean, so she's very tuned
Yes.
into that. So there's a relationship that's mattering. She's the kind of lady that, in some of my incarnations, I would say, you know what, we're going to volunteer at the animal shelter. Because they always need people to go walk the dogs. They need people to love on the dogs to get them human connection. So, I mean, in the past, I would take some of my friends that live with dementia and we would go, kids with autism, we would go and work at the animal shelter. We'd find an animal shelter that was open to the idea. And sometimes it was kittens, sometimes it was dogs, but it was the opportunity to feel like you make a difference.
Yes.
And the demands are so much less because what's happening for your mom when she's around people, what comes out of her mouth is whatever comes into her mind. And she would
Yes.
never,
No.
never have said things
No.
what she
No.
says now or done what
Right.
she did.
Right.
But now it's like all bets off. I mean, she might walk over
Right.
and say, "Oh, that French fry is delicious," and then possibly start eating French fries off of another person's plate, and you're like, "Mom,
Right.
it's like what? She's not eating them." I mean, but
Yeah.
just like, but you can't do that. It's like, well, she's fine. Are you
Right.
fine with it? And the person goes,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean,
Right.
you better
The-
believe the
the-
next time they go in the restaurant, it's going to be like, okay, let's sit where she can't see us.
Right. Well, I think the weirdest stuff that gets said, and it's not weird if you know her background as a nurse, but it's
Yeah.
certainly weird to everyone, is extreme descriptions of what the physical problems are. She tells the staff, she tells the chefs, she tells when she meets you, it's the first thing she tells you, and she goes into such detail. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Just like you figured out that the man that had gone into the amber state, if he would have benefited from moving the bricks back and forth. I can't figure out what that piece is. How do I make people want to spend time with my mom?
Hi, I'm Tifa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching. And if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out. And you might want to visit our website, www.tipasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.